WrestleMania 41 Night 1 has officially ended, and it's a very interesting show, I would say the least. It was a very up and down show. Overall, I did think the show was really good to possibly great, but it was a very rocky start. I'm gonna just go ahead and jump straight into the review. The first match we start off with is Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. This match, I was excited for this match. I was really hoping that this match would have been a banger. Now, I didn't expect this to be some type of all time classic or whatever. I was just hoping it would just be a really good match. I think it was solid. It had moments of being great, but it was very up and down. Now, I will say this, the crowd loved Jey Uso. His entrance was amazing, man. The crowd was yeeting, and then but this was overall, it was a good, solid match, but it was very up and down. It had moments, but also had some low moments as well. But towards the end of the match, you end up getting Jey Uso hitting like 4 frog splashes in a row, and then he ends up putting Gunther in a sleeper hold, making him tap out. Now, some people are complaining about this, which I don't understand. Well, mainly Jey Uso haters. People who are overreacting to this, it's like, bro, Gunther is fine. Bro, Gunther has been a champion 80% of the time he's been in WWE. Like, him losing a championship match is not that big of a deal. He's fine. Like, he's booked like a monster. He'll be fine. He's probably going to win it back in a couple of months anyway. It's completely fine. I'm very shocked that they made Gunther tap out. That's very strange. I did not expect him to tap out. I thought they was going to do a pinfall, but they made him tap out, which was very interesting. The crowd went crazy. The crowd started popping. The crowd went crazy before his entrance music even started. The moment Gunther tapped, like he did 2 taps and the crowd was going crazy. But overall, it was a solid match. But I wish it would have been better. But I'm just happy that Jey Uso won. Jey Uso absolutely deserves it, especially with all the hate he's beginning. But just even before then, with him gaining momentum with the bloodline with the Roman, Jey Uso absolutely deserves this moment. He deserves everything he is getting, man. And I can't wait to see how his World Heavyweight Championship reign plays out. The next match on the card we get is the New Day versus the War Raiders for the WWE World Tag Team titles. This match was fine. Now, from an in-ring perspective, it's not a bad match. It's actually solid. It's actually good. But the crowd did not care about this match at all. Now, there are reasons why this crowd didn't care. One, this was just lazy booking. They decided to put this match on the card for no reason. And two, what would have helped is if you put a certain other tag team in this match, possibly on the SmackDown brand, and possibly a more interesting stipulation like a TLC. Maybe that would have worked more. That would have got the crowd hyped, but we got this instead. The New Day ended up winning by cheating. It was a moment where Kobe goes for the pin. Xavier ended up holding Kobe's legs. The ref didn't see it. They picked up the victory. No biggie. So the New Day just win. Very anticlimactic. I'm cool with the New Day winning. That's why I predicted. But this would have hit a lot harder if they booked the New Day better. And I'm hoping that with them being tag champs that they booked them better. But I don't know if we're really going to see the New Day being booked better, because why book them better now when you had months to book them better after their heel turn? So we'll see how it plays out. But this should have been a lot better. It should have been a way bigger moment. But Triple H fumbled the ball with the New Day. Now, we end up getting one of the matches that I was more excited about due to the build of WrestleMania with Naomi versus Jade. And this match, it was another fine match. Like, the early parts of this show of night 1 was very iffy. It was very iffy because it was nothing major that was happening. Nothing really stood out. I will say they got the winners right for the most part. But this match, I will say this. This match started to get good towards the end, which was very disappointing. I wish they would have got more time, because the match actually started to cook towards like the last like 5 minutes. But once it started to cook, it ended. So that was kind of a bit disappointing. Also, I feel like Jade kind of defeated Naomi a little bit too easily for me, in my opinion. So that was a little bit upsetting. So, but we'll see how this plays out. Maybe they have another match, but I'm assuming this is the end of the feud. I don't think they're gonna have another match, but it'll be interesting to have another match, but I don't think so. But Jade Cargill picks up the victory as I predicted. Makes sense. Her getting her payback after getting attacked by Naomi, being out for months. It only makes sense. A lot of people are mad that Naomi lost. I understand why Naomi lost. It makes sense why she lost. Plus, Jade is the bigger star that they're more invested in. So it makes sense. I'm just hoping that with this new Naomi character that they actually push her. Bare minimum, she needs to win that mid-card title. Bare minimum. and she probably can win Money in the Bank, but we'll see how her booking goes in the future before we start discussing that. But I'm loving this new gimmick. She got a new theme song. I'm loving her caution gimmick. It is great. Hopefully, they don't fumble this one, but we'll see how this plays out. But Jade Cargill picks up the victory over Naomi. Now we get to where the matches start getting way more entertaining. We end up getting Jacob Fatu versus LNA for the United States Championship. This match was really good. This match actually surprised me. I did not expect this match to be as good as it was, but this match is what really made this night better than what it was supposed to be. This is where it started getting real entertaining because the first three matches was very iffy. I'm just gonna be honest. It was iffy. It was not that entertaining. But this is where it really got really entertaining. Jacob Fatu looked like an absolute monster in this match, but LA Knight did hold his own. There was one crazy spot I really enjoyed where Jacob Fatu goes for his moonsault, but LA Knight ended up hitting it a BFT as Jacob Fatu was landing. That was crazy. This was an absolute great. This was a really good match. I really enjoyed it for what it was, but Jacob Fatu do end up picking up the victory. He ended up hitting like back-to-back moonsaults towards the end of the match. I really enjoyed this match. This was really good. Really great moment for Jacob Fatu. The bright runner one. I'm excited to see what the story they could tell with him on SmackDown. Is LA Knight going? LA Knight probably is going to get a rematch clause. Maybe have a rematch. Interested to see what role he plays in. Is he going to get jealous? Is that going to start the solo feud, or they're never going to do that? Who knows? But I'm very interested to see Jacob Fatu as U.S. champion, and I'm excited to see how that plays out. Now we end up getting a Grande Americano versus Ray Phoenix. Rey Mysterio was originally supposed to be the opponent, but he ended up getting injured yesterday on SmackDown. So Ray Phoenix ended up being the replacement. This was a really good match. Really enjoyed the match. This was everything you expected with Ray Phoenix being, the high flying luchador, Chad Gable being, the very technical wrestler. I was trying to look for the term of Chad Gable being the technical wrestler he is. This was a really good match, really fun, really good match. Really enjoyed it. Towards the end of the match, you end up getting the referee getting distracted by Ray Phoenix. El Grande Americano ends up putting the metal plate or whatever in his mask. He ends up using it as a weapon and picks up the victory. So El Grande ends up picking up the victory. Very interested to see, was this always the plan, or was I'm curious to know, was this always the plan for El Grande to win, or was Rey Mysterio supposed to win this match, but they changed plans due to Ray Phoenix being the replacement? I don't know. Maybe he was always supposed to win, but nonetheless, this was a really good match. I don't know where the story goes from here because I'm assuming the end goal is for them to unmask El Grande, but I'm not saying they had to do it at Mania because I don't think it's really a Mania moment, but I'm just kind of like, at a certain point, do we really need to continue this storyline? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping, but like, it's like, do we really need to continue? Now, I'm assuming they're going to continue it mainly because Rey Mysterio was supposed to face El Grande, so maybe they're going to wait till Rey Mysterio could come back, but who knows how long he's going to be out for. So that's very. But El Grande picks up the victory, and I really enjoyed this match. Now we end up getting Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton in this match. This match was solid. It was a good match. It was a really good match. Very up and down. Again, it had moments where it was picking up, but then it also had moments where it was very dull. Now, I will say the crowd did not help with a lot of these matches because a lot of these matches could have been a lot better if the crowd was a lot more inconsistent, which was one of my fears because the crowd was very inconsistent. They did the same thing they did with Stand and Deliver, where they cheered, then they just stayed silent. They did it with this match. They did it with the New Day and the War Raiders. I get it. If you're not entertained, you don't cheer, but the crowd really affects how a match is perceived. It can make a bad match look like a great match. Hulk Hogan and The Rock is the perfect example. The match is trash, but it's looked at as a great match due to the crowd. The crowd can literally make a match that is bad or mid into an amazing match. That's the effect the crowd can have. It has some interesting moments. I will say the entrance of Chelsea Green and Charlotte Flair was amazing. I love their entrance. Tiffany Stratton coming out in like a Barbie doll. That was amazing. And then Charlotte Flair pulling up in a Rolls Royce. Their entrances was amazing. But towards the end of the match, you end up getting Tiffany Stratton. She ends up hitting her moonsault, picks up the victory. I will say the ending was a bit underwhelming. The match was a bit underwhelming as well. We was expecting, a banger. It was a good match. This match was no better than Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley from last year, which I thought was a great match. This was just a solid one. Like it wasn't nothing special. It's nothing that I would go crazy or rewatch or recommend. But it was a good solid match overall. It just had a lot of ups and downs. So it's moments where you was invested. Then there was moments where you was like, okay, just end the match already. But overall, it was a good solid match. Now we got the main event between Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. And this match was absolute cinema. This is the match that carried night one, if I'm being honest. This match carried night one. This was a 10 out of 10 banger. I love everything about this match. It started off early with Roman Reigns dominating the match. Then soon after, we ended up getting a brawl to the crowd area between Seth and Punk. This match was great. Roman Reigns ate like 8 finishers in this match. It was multiple times. He got stumped like 4 times in this match. This match was great. It was multiple cool sequences. We ended up having a sequence where later in the match where Punk goes for a GTS on Seth Rollins, then Roman goes for a spear onto Punk, then Seth hits a stomp onto Roman. That was crazy. We had another sequence, if I'm not mistaken, where later in the match we ended up getting I think, if I'm not mistaken, oh yeah, Roman goes for a spear onto Seth Rollins, but that turns into a pedigree. Then he ends up hitting a stomp onto Roman. Roman kicks out. This match was great. It was a lot of cool sequences. There's going to be some things I forget. It was one point in the match where Seth Rollins is trying to convince Roman Reigns to just go after CM Punk because he's the enemy. He's the guy we should be attacking. And Roman is contemplating whether or not he should trust Seth Rollins, or should he help Seth Rollins to take out Punk. And it looks like they're about to go for the Shield powerbomb, but then he ends up attacking Seth Rollins, and he ends up putting them both. He ends up doing a powerbomb onto the announce table on both of them, which was very cool. But we get towards the end of the match. Paul Heyman gets a steel chair, and it's Roman and Punk, and they're looking at him, and he's deciding whether or not who he's going to give the steel chair to. He gives it to CM Punk, and it looks like Paul Heyman is betraying Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman gets in the ring, and he's like carrying CM Punk. He's right behind CM Punk. Punk is about to attack Roman with the chair, but then he low blows CM Punk, and it looks like everything is good. It looks like that he's on Roman Reigns' side, that he just betrayed CM Punk. Roman's happy. Roman is excited. He think he got his wise man back, and Paul Heyman gives Roman the chair. Then they're setting this up. They're doing a callback to what happened 10 years ago with Seth Rollins hitting Roman with the chair, and now Seth Rollins is getting up. He's in the same position Roman was in. His back is turned. Roman has the steel chair. He's about to hit Seth with the chair, but then Paul Heyman low blows Roman Reigns, aligns with Seth Rollins, gives Seth Rollins the chair. Seth Rollins hits the chair on Roman, hits a curb stomp, and picks up the victory. I'm in shock. I thought this was a possibility, but I really didn't think they was going to pull the trigger. I did not think they was going to pull the trigger. This creates so many stories going forward, and I feel bad for Roman. I'm going to be honest. If I'm Roman Reigns, I'm never trusting another person in the WWE ever again, bro. The amount of times he has got betrayed is crazy. He got betrayed by Seth Rollins, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa. Like, now to be fair, some of those is his fault. But man, the amount of times he gets betrayed is crazy. Like, if I'm Roman, I'm never trusting another person. Like, it's just crazy how much he gets turned on. But bro, this was great. There's so much room for this story where it could go. This can go in so many ways. I know some people are even saying that this is a part of the Cena and Cody story with Seth Rollins aligned with Paul Heyman, so that means he's with The Rock. I don't know about all of that, but this could create so many opportunities, so many storylines. I'm very excited to see how this plays out. This definitely means Seth Rollins is a heel. There's no way he's a babyface after this. So this creates so much, and a heel Seth Rollins is the best version of Seth Rollins. I love babyface Seth Rollins, but bro, heel Seth Rollins is amazing. I can't wait to see how this plays out. Overall, this show, it's good, but it's a bit underwhelming. The second half of the show really carried, mainly that main event. That main event was too good. But overall, it was a good night, but a bit underwhelming. But you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what was your prediction. Let me know your thoughts. But yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, that's it.